Hey, hey, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and we have Bagger Bader with us tonight. I don't know if the beautiful firecracker is going to join us or not, but she might make a guest appearance. She's around here, but she had some other things to work on.
Busy lady.
Yes, sir. So, everybody in the chat, chime in. Let us know who you are, where you are, what's going on. We want to hear from everybody. Speaking of that, Steve, before we get off, and we're talking about homecoming, we're also going to talk a little bit about Sturgis plans and stuff. Um, I ran into a guy at homecoming from Milwaukee. There at the concert, and he watches our lives and stuff, but he never comments. And I'm like, you need to say hi. You need to say where you're from. I said, we want to
Yeah,
hear from you. Participate. I said,
right,
don't be lurking in the shadows.
right.
I had someone else who was at the content meet and greet who posted pictures of other content creators and stuff, and that were there. Like Tulane had things they were autographing and giving out and stuff, so they had like a line of people, and that's
Yeah,
cool. I didn't have anything like that. I had stickers in my pocket to give out, but there's like no table set up that says this person's here or that person's there. We're just hanging out under a tent kind of thing.
right.
And I said something to the guy that, hey, I was there. He goes, yeah, I saw you, but I didn't want to bother you. And I'm like, man, that's why I came to Milwaukee, was so you could bother me. I
Yeah,
came. I mean, if I go to these events and I tell people I'm going to be at something, especially like a planned meet and greet, I am there for you to bother me. I want to see and meet and talk to the people that watch this channel, that support this channel. That is why I made the effort to be at that meet and greet. I didn't go for me. I went for them, for even if it was just for the 5 people that wanted to meet me.
yeah. I
So,
mean, that's both of us love people. I mean, that's why we do this. And then, funny enough, I mean, that's how we met. We met at a campground and started shooting the shit. And the next thing you know, we had a good time.
so we got Brian in here from the Tulsa area. We got Jeff from Milwaukee. And I think that's the Jeff I was talking to. And then we've got Hello Gents from Dallas Fort Worth area, originally from Springfield, Missouri. That's Ryan Skids. And we got other people in here. I know there's 8 people watching, so let's hear where y'all are from. So, Steve, you've been to homecoming before. This was my first time.
Hmm.
You watched my video on it. Is it pretty much seem like the same format as when you went previously, or does it look like they're changing anything up?
Yeah, so I went in 2018. That was back when they skipped 5 years. It was every 5 years back then. Um, it was hard to tell. It looks very similar, but it seems like there was more people there than when I went. It and I watched other creators' videos as well, and I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of people there. This, maybe they're on to something. This every year thing might be the right way to go. I was a little skeptical at first because I just thought that maybe would be overkill, but it's a damn good time. I mentioned a couple of things for you to go see, and I think you did. Hopefully, you were glad you were able to make those events.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to go back because there was things we didn't get to. We didn't get to all the Harley dealers. We didn't get to Elwood Liquors. They were doing mini bike races there on Friday night. We missed that. Ryan said he saw me on Cruzy's vid, so I guess I'm in one of Cruzy's
Yeah,
vids.
I saw you, I saw you
I
there
was in
too.
the background of a lot of cameras, man. There's a lot of
Yeah,
cameras going around. So,
yeah,
um, how would I compare it to the Mid America Hog Rally? So, um, it is not, in my mind, this is a festival, an event. It's not, the thing that's closest to a motorcycle rally is the museum and the things that are going on there, because that's all bikers. That's all bikers. It's bike shows. There's not bike games, but there's, you know, tours and museums and music and food and drinks and, things like that, and bike shows. That is the most pure biker aspect, and also the dealerships. The concerts are more festival. That's for the whole city. There's lots of people showed up in cowboy boots that probably have never rode a horse or branded a cow or anything else in their life, but they were there for Hank and for Chris Stapleton, and that was cool.
yeah.
But I think that's, you know, when they had Green Day, they got a lot of heat over it. A lot of bikers were pissed off that they had Green Day. But I think we have to remember that the concerts, they charge for that and they charge for this, but this is not them so much as trying to make money off of bikers as them trying to have a festival for Milwaukee, their hometown. Bikers are invited. They're catering to bikers at homecoming and stuff like that. And there's plenty of stuff for bikers there, but the music for everyone. It's not a biker thing. It's a everyone thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of those people are fans of Harley Davidson, whether they ride all the time or they're bikers or not. But there's, I'm sure, a lot of people that came to the concerts that are just music fans that live in and around Milwaukee that came for the concert.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that's different. Back in 18, they didn't charge for the concerts. So that's changed.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know what the cost aspect of that is. I mean, the times are hard for the economy. Bike sales are down. I get it. They can't throw money at everything. So
Yeah.
if they got charged and they're charging the local community to get in there and they're making money off of it as well, then I get it.
Well, I know the night I attended, Hailstorm was playing. Hailstorm's a great band, but I'm assuming they don't charge the same kind of numbers as a Green Day or Hank Jr.
Right. Yeah, and that may
It's
be
definitely
part
a
of it.
step up.
They've stepped up the entertainment. They've got to
Yeah,
charge.
yeah. You got at that point you got to charge.
Now, I want to say Brian says here that he has been to the museum 3 or 4 times. He has family that lives in Milwaukee, and also say hi to Green Rush here. Um, the museum was one of my favorite things. I also, you know, the museum as a hangout was one of my favorite things. To be honest, I would rather hang out at the museum and that area, which was all free, except, I mean, I think to take the tour of the museum, you got to pay unless you're a hog member. Then it was free for us. But I would rather have hung out at the museum area and everything else. And the concert is really for the concert. If you want to see Hank and you want to see, you know, Chris Stapleton, then you're going to pay the money for the concert. But if you don't really care about seeing those bands, you can still go to Milwaukee and hang out at the museum, and they have free music there, and they have bike shows. The dealerships are putting on music and having vendors and doing stuff, and they have. Brian just mentioned that did I tour the powertrain plant? I saw I went to the PDC. Yeah, I didn't get to do the powertrain plant. That's something I want to do when I go back. We
Yeah.
found out they had a women's ride. We didn't realize they had that. That's something next time Firecracker might go do. So there's plenty of other things for us to do and see in a 2-day rally. So I'm sure we'll go back, spend a Friday and Saturday there. We'll ride up Thursday, get there on Thursday night, do the things, But I don't know, unless it's a band that we just absolutely want to see, I don't know that we'll hang out at the concert venue as much.
Yeah.
Go to the meet and greet if I'm invited back. That yeah, absolutely, because going to meet fans is a big part of why I go to some of these events. This year, Sturgis is a little different for me. I thought about trying to organize a meet and greet. I thought I might have something going on with Harley, but we haven't really locked anything down. And at this point, with less than 2 weeks to go, I'm not worried about it. I'm going to Sturgis this year because a friend of mine is getting married and I'm the best man. And so that is the primary focus of Sturgis this year, not content and anything else. I'll of course make content and I'm going to, if you do Facebook or Instagram, make sure you follow me on there if you're going to be at Sturgis, because I will post on there, hey, we're headed to Cycle Showcases show. That's one that I'm definitely going to try and be at for the unveiling. Monkey brought up the Ricky Bobby, whatever, bongo party pool thing at Steel Pony. We'll probably try and go to that.
Yeah.
That's free, So there'll be some things at Sturgis that I will post. Hey, we're going to try and do this, or we're going to try and do that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be all about riding and wedding. So, but the first part of the week and maybe the last part of the week, we may be hanging out in Sturgis, Rapid City, and being places where people can find us.
I was watching your video and other creators' videos, and it dawned on me, it wasn't too many years ago that Adam Sandoval made a video about how he felt like Harley was missing the boat, that, there's all this opportunity to get basically free press from all these creators that love their product. and they haven't really figured it out. And here I am watching you guys get a special tour by Bill Davidson. I mean, wow. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I was jealous as hell. I was like, wow.
Yeah, so we got a special tour at the headquarters with Bill Davidson, and it was really special because you just didn't get the typical tour. I mean, not to somebody might have put in a video. I'm sure it wasn't meant to not be in a video or anything was said that you can't share this, but it was actually on the anniversary of his mother's passing.
Oh,
And he
wow.
talked about that and he got emotional, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, his mom passed away and he was emotional, but it shows the human aspect of him, and how much
Yeah.
his mother and his father mean to him, the tradition of Harley, how ingrained it is his family. He told stories about riding the golf cart inside the factory and running it into something and knocking a picture off the wall and getting his ass yelled at by his dad and stuff like that. Well, what the hell's going on in here? It humanized those folks, and that
Yeah.
was great. But the PDC, I mean, from what I understand, this is like the second time they've let people with cameras in the PDC ever.
Wow.
So, did you have to sign an NDA to tour the PDC? Absolutely. Anything exciting coming down the pipeline? Nothing. Even though we signed an NDA, they did not show us anything that we can't talk about. But they still made us sign an NDA. I signed mine at the desk before we went in the door, and I'll be honest, I didn't read it. Hopefully, I didn't violate anything, or I won't be invited back. Um, but a lot of them had gotten. I didn't get the invite to the PDC tour until just a couple days before, and it may have had to do with space or whatever else. But I had not signed an NDA, so I signed one at the desk. So I didn't really review it. I signed it and got out of the way so everybody could get in. But I didn't talk about anything I don't think they wanted me to talk about. I didn't talk about the PDC lot. I may do a specific video on it. There are definitely some things I'm sure they want us to talk about, but uh, Ryan says was up at Renegade Harley Davidson weekend before last. Um, my bill picked up a bill.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Somebody's gonna have to tell me what bill stands for. It's not coming to. But they picked up a 22 Road Glide CBO 131 Stage 4 in steel blue, sick bike. Well, congratulations, um, whoever Bill is, or whatever Bill is. Sorry, I'm at a law. Bro-in-law. There we go. So it's bro-in-law. Got
Brother-in-law.
it,
Damn, we're
brother-in-law.
slow.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Wagonators. Well, congratulations to your brother-in-law, and I am glad that Harley Davidson and Renegade it was able to hook you guys up. I've got some news coming from Renegades and things we're going to work on. I don't know that I can officially say what or what. We haven't got all the details worked out, but during Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue on that Saturday, Firecracker is going to lead a ride out of Renegade Harley Davidson for breast cancer awareness. So we'll
Cool.
be at BBB in Eureka Springs on Friday and Friday night. But Friday night we will leave Eureka Springs and head to Springfield. So Saturday morning we can lead a ride there.
Awesome.
Jay says brother-in-law is my CB handle. Uh, all the screen time for HD for news content creators is quick information to the motorcycling public. It is, and I I don't know. There's different styles of content. I've been told that I do very informational videos. I kind of when I make a video, I think about who does it serve and what value does it give to someone. I mean, and I think about that when I format it. I could just document my experience, but I feel like that's about me. And maybe people dig that, but I want to make sure that I'm trying to give them like if you've never been, why is it worth you going? What can you expect? What can you do? What is there to go on there? I've done videos like this for Bike Fest, and I've had years after I've done it, people say, I knew where everything was at Bike Fest because I watched all your videos on Bike Fest, and it was great because now I know where everything is and I don't miss out on stuff. So, I kind of enjoy doing those because I feel like it gives my community, value. Not just saying, hey, watch me and Firecracker ride motorcycles. Not that there's anything wrong with that, especially if you're entertaining, like, Cruzy and stuff like that.
I think my videos offer one thing, and that's so people realize how good you guys are.
Mm. Hey, you have toilet TV, baby. Toilet TV
I
all
have
day
toilet
long.
TV. Yeah, I'm toilet TV for sure.
So Brian asked, when is Firecrackers Ride? So that will be the first Saturday in October, and it will be at Renegade Harley Davidson. It's going to be like 9:30 in the morning to lunchtime or something like that. We haven't worked out all the details, but you know that's kind of the plan. Brian says, I think you present differently and may simplify so people can understand. Well, maybe. I hope so. I mean, JS is a little biased, but he says my homecoming video was his favorite.
I agree, man. I called you up and told you. I'm like, man, you killed that. I think I don't know. You were just in a great, relaxed state of mind or something, and you just, when you're walking along with your white sunglasses on, and I thought you just
My
killed
my wife hates those sunglasses, so I wear them every once in a while. Video just to
it.
aggravate her. She's like, "You wearing those?"
I thought it was very personable.
I think I'm going to get a prescription pair so I can wear them more often and see what the hell I'm doing when I'm wearing them. So, homecoming, but yeah, homecoming was definitely, and it may sound strange, but like for us, it's approximately 500 miles. It was 475 taking the most direct route up. That was going through Illinois, not our favorite state to ride through for various reasons, including the Second Amendment. Um, so we came back, we cut straight over to Butte and come down through Iowa and avoided Illinois completely. And we also knew we were going to run into rain if we came the direct route back. And so we avoided the rain. And as we got close to Quincy coming down, we were starting to hit sprinkles. And I knew we were going to hit rain if we kept on at that pace. So we ventured another 50 miles out of our way, a little further west, and jogged south and took, some routes around the rain, and we ended up doing 625 coming back. But I enjoyed that 625. We stopped for ice cream at 5:30 at 60 miles from home, got some ice cream and cruised on in. And we left at like 6:15. We didn't get in a hurry to leave because leaving earlier just meant we hit the rain sooner. So we were trying to get behind it. So we left like 6:15 in the morning. It was like a 12-hour day for us, but we did 600 miles and I enjoyed it, and parts of it were nothing but cornfields. But it was just me and her and Steve, and a good time. Some days I like just getting out and crushing the miles with like nothing to do besides pound pavement.
Absolutely.
So 260 Jake says, I will be in the U.S. flag vest at Lake of the Ozarks. I'm finding you and buying you a drink. Great homecoming vid. Well, I won't be hard to find at Bike Fest. I probably, if you go to the ice hole and I'm not there, they'll know how to get a hold of me. You find the owners of the ice hole, they definitely know how to get a hold of me. They have my phone number. They're good
Yeah.
friends of mine and stuff. But we'll be doing after Sturgis. I'll start talking about our plans for Bike Fest, and I'll definitely be doing more stuff there. I've talked about doing a ride. I talked about maybe trying to do a ride to raise money for something. But at this point, I really haven't had time to focus on it. So I think we're just going to like Bike Fest. Maybe if you're there on Friday, we go do a ride. And on Saturday, everybody likes to hang out at the strip. I don't want to drag people away from that on a Saturday because, that's the big day for the strip. So maybe Friday's a ride day around the lake area somewhere. And then, Saturday was hang out the ice hole, have a little, I'm going to be here from 11 to noon or whatever kind of thing where people can find me, or 11 to 1. And, we'll just do our thing.
Speaking of the lake, I went down there with my Omaha crew that I ride with, and only because we were going to go to Illinois and go to like bars like Poopy's and Psycho Silo and stuff. We did it last year, had a ball, but it was going to rain all weekend up there, so we ended up going down to the lake and obviously had a great time.
Well, and I meant to tell 260 Jake, I won't be hard to find, but you don't have to buy me a drink. I if you want to, I probably won't refuse, but you don't owe me anything besides, honest feedback on the videos. That's all I ask for.
Support the channel.
Support the channel, watch the videos, and I'm, and like Jeff from Milwaukee who talked to me, that's that is food for my soul. When I meet somebody in an event from Milwaukee that says, "Hey, I'm in your lives. You never hear from me, but I watch your lives and I really appreciate it."
Yeah,
That is the food that I need that replenishes my drive to keep doing this. And hearing from people like, "Hey, yeah, your video was great on this," or "Hey, I bought this product because I watched your video on it and I love it. It's great." That
yeah.
kind of thing. There's a guy who comments on all my videos. We got to meet him last year at BBB. He goes by Cornbread is his like YouTube handle, and he's calls me Mountain Mike. And so he comments on all my videos. He's a channel member, so he gets early access and everything. And we went and rode and had drinks with him and Pebbles at a bar and stuff and everything. But like I talked about the factory match and their paint match fenders and stuff when I got my Clockworks fender from him. He had snake venom, which is a hard color to match. He got a fender from them in
Yeah,
snake venom, and he was so happy because it's perfect. It matches perfectly, and he wanted to tell me, that he appreciated that. And so those kinds of things are cool, whether it's, hey, I turned you on to a cool product or a cool brand, or I turned you on to a cool event, or, I helped you make a decision about buying the right bike for you, or things like that. That is what I want from my audience is the feedback of how I you know gave them some value in their life, because that's why I do this channel more than anything. I mean, do I make money at it? Absolutely. I'm not going to lie. After 5 years, I hope I make a little money at it. But I mean, I could go make more money doing a lot of other things. I don't do it for money.
hey, for the amount of time you put into this, you're in poverty level of pay.
Well, I'll tell you, I probably have at least 8 to 10 hours in editing the homecoming video, not counting the filming it, not counting the travel. Harley did not pay for our motels. They didn't pay for our gas. They didn't pay for our food. They did give us passes for the concert and for the meet and greet. And they gave us, the pass had some, it's like a wristband that had some money on it so we could buy food there at the festival, but it only worked there at the festival and stuff. But I mean, it wasn't sponsored, and they didn't pay for all my stuff and everything like that. We dropped over $1,000 to go do homecoming easy, and I'll never see $1,000 out of that video.
Yeah,
That's the reality. I bet you if I look at that video, it probably hasn't made $50. You know,
right.
and it's already dropping in views. So unless something changes and it picks up, it's not going to probably, you know, ever get there. So far in 2 days, it has made $20, and usually the first few days are your best days.
Yeah.
So, but it's been viewed by 2 or 3 thousand people, and if it helped 2 or 3 thousand people, then that's why we do it.
Well, yeah, and you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the other reasons that you already mentioned. Um, Certainly, which is the case for me. I'll probably never get monetized, which is fine with me. Oh, but
So
back to what you were talking about a minute ago. With my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, what I've been enjoying is I'm getting people that I may know but not barely know will message me and ask for my opinion on parts and like, where can I get this? Where can I get, do you know somebody? Blah, blah. I love being able to help people, you know, achieve their motorcycle dreams. So I get a kick out of that.
yeah, it's building the community. So Lady Wagonator has a question for you, Steve. Are you going to Bike Fest?
Absolutely.
Don't read too much into that. She is married.
I know. But you know
All right.
what? She's my kind of girl. I like her.
You like a girl that rides her own and has a good sense of humor.
And she's got a little ornery streak in her. Oh, Mr. Wagonator, he's loving that.
So Jeff says, my hope for homecoming is it grows to a full blown rally. As you saw in Brady Street, it has done well for the city. Brady Street was, like I mentioned it in my video, a much cooler scene than Daytona Beach to walk up and down the street. You know,
Did you
cops are
catch
not regulating it. They're letting us regulate it. They're letting us do us, and nobody was fighting. Nobody was, I walked by and, brother's giving me a sign and, because I'm filming and making, just
Yep.
showing love that, we're out here enjoying the experience.
Did you happen to catch the East Coasting guys doing all the donuts out in the street? Or
I know they were down there, but I saw some social media of it, but I didn't actually see them live in performings. So I definitely think there is a lot of things the city can do to grow this and stuff, but it's off to a great start. And we're gonna be back. I expect we'll be back next year because it's only a 1 day ride for us. I mean, we can be there in 8 hours. So
yeah, that's about what it is from Kansas City. So
I want to throw a shout out here. So JS, if you guys didn't know, he's getting close to 1K, I think, on there. Let's go look JS up on YouTube and see where he's at.
yes,
We were talking about this, that he's closing in on the 1K mark. He may need a few hours. Yes, sir. 940 subscribers. I'm gonna
damn
throw
JS.
I'm gonna throw a link at 942. Let's see if we can get him over 950 before his end says 946. My end says 942. But there is a link, and if anybody's not following JS, I would consider it a personal favor if you'd go give him a follow, give him a chance to entertain you and make you smile. Makes me smile every time I watch him.
Yeah,
And love to see him get over 1K, and then we just got to push those watch hours up so he can, join the club.
he's got a great sense of humor, and it's a little different, and it's fun to kind of catch on to it.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely. And at
People,
first you're like, is he serious? And then you're like, oh, no, he's not serious.
right? Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I don't know. Is he? What do we? Is he joking? Is he serious?
Is he really going to do that? We're trying to talk JS into coming to Bike Fest.
Oh shit, yeah.
I don't. He's working on it. I think Chase, you're coming to Bike Fest this year again, right? Because Chase came last year. I think they stayed at Encore last year. You staying at Encore this year, Steve?
I am. I just at the end of the weekend, I just tell them to book it up again.
Sweet. Chase says planning so far. Ryan says he's a new JS sub. So Ryan says he's at 947 already. So we hopefully we'll get him over 950 tonight.
Nice.
Keep pushing that train.
Good.
Chase says we have it booked. We'll see. Well, he better see. You better see us at the strip. Better be
Damn
there.
right. Hey, we were down there, on Saturday night, and I think I left around 9. It was freaking packed, man.
Yeah. So Brian says to have a King of the Baggers race there. I think is that Elkhart? Is that what it's called? He says that they says Ross America, which maybe that's the name of the track or something. I think it's in Elkhart. That's their backyard, and that would be probably the closest track for us to go to, Steve.
Yeah.
Road America is isn't that Circuit of America is Texas? Isn't that Austin? Circuit of America?
Yeah. Yep.
So Road America.
Hey,
it's Elkhart. We should maybe talk to Harley about if I ride up there, can I get a pass? Like like infield pass. Go hang out with James and Kyle.
Hey, we've been talking about maybe going to Born Free next year, and I tell you what, we need to see if there's a race out there.
There's not a race during Born Free, but we're looking at going to Born Free this year. It's still on our try to do list.
You're talking Texas, though, right?
Yeah, Born Free. Yeah, you're talking Born Free
next
California.
Year. Yeah, California. Yeah.
So JS says he wants to go to Dakota next year for the King of the Baggers. So my mom and dad have a house a couple of hours from Austin, and they live down there now, just south of Houston. And I think they're going to put it on the market. That my dad is retired and they're moving back to the Ozarks and stuff. Maybe we should do a crowdsource thing and buy the house and like, just Airbnb it out, and you could, stay between Houston and Austin, and maybe probably be better off. We just got found a house close to Austin, down where the hill country is, but
Yeah.
I probably can't get a deal on that.
Not right now.
Jay wants to go to Austin for King of the Baggers next year.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Road America had a Moto America race attendance record this year. Awesome. I love seeing the races. We watched them at Daytona. I'm a race fan. I've been a fan of this King of the Baggers, and it is Elkhart, and they think they have a race the weekend following Memorial Day. Yeah. So I mean, let's talk about King of the Baggers for just a second. Not to deviate too far, but we're talking all things Harley here on this channel. If you stop and you think about this, I was upset when Harley pulled out of flat track racing as a corporate sponsor and now the drag racing. But financially, this is probably the smartest racing move they've made in at least 20 years. Okay, Steve, if you go watch a flat track race, you go watch a flat track race. You saw the one did you see the one at Eldon last year?
I know, but I went to the one in Kansas City, Kansas. You were there,
Yeah. So, but I mean, like a big pro in like the American
No.
Flat Track Association. But if you go do that, the chances are that's not going to inspire you to go out and buy any motorcycles or motorcycle parts.
Right.
Unless you're a racer.
Right.
And if you go to a drag race, it's fun to watch, but are you going to go out and buy a turbo and a NOS system and put it on your bike and become a drag racer? No. But if you watch King of the Baggers and you watch these guys blowing around the curves at 140 mile an hour on a 700-pound motorcycle, and you're already riding a bagger, are you likely to go out and buy some new shocks, maybe a cam? Maybe I posted a reel, and it's gotten like 300,000 views now, where me and a friend were in Mexico chasing each other. And, people, sport bike guys, of course, made jokes about Harleys because I hit a speed limiter at 107 and this and that, and that's fine. But, somebody made a comment about King of the Baggers, thinking I'm King of the Baggers. It's fun. It's fun to take an 850-pound motorcycle through a turn at 85 mile an hour that most cars won't take at 85 mile an hour, on a twisty 2-lane road. It's fun for me. Maybe not for everybody. It may not be everybody's thing. But I can tell you the like we do King of the Baggers, and then we have these performance builds like the CVO Road Glide ST based on that. How many STs have they sold? How many shocks have they sold? How many cams have they sold? Because people become King of the Baggers fans, and they know they could do that with their own motorcycle to some degree.
Well, enough that they built a $110,000 Road Glide RR. So it's obviously caught on. But to your point, I've never been a big race guy. The first race I've ever seen, you were there in Kansas City, Kansas on that flat track race. It was really cool, but the King of the Baggers is just a whole new animal. And because I have a Road Glide, I mean, I want to go watch them race.
So Bad Boy says Born Free has a dirt track, oval, and a straight track. Now, are we talking Born Free Texas or Born Free California? I don't know. I'm unaware. Are you aware?
I haven't seen. I've watched a number of videos on the California edition. I haven't seen any racing or flat track or anything there. So
Ryan in Texas says he's glad Born Free in Texas in October, and I am too, because we're talking about coming. I mean, it's camping season. So. Jeff says that race is end of May, beginning of June up there at Milwaukee Elkhart. So, yeah, that'd be right after Memorial Day. Races during the day, 6th Street at night. That's Austin.
Yeah. Good times.
Are they having bike races at Bike Fest? So, I'm so glad you asked. The flat track championship race will be at Eldon at Bike Fest again this year. So that's the last race of the season for the flat track racing, and it will be at Eldon again this year. And they've had 2 flat track races this year at Wheatland, Steve. They I think had one last weekend. I am going to watch and get that schedule next year, and if there are more races at Wheatland, We need to do a meetup and meet there. That's a good spot for us to meet in between, go to the races, spend the
Yeah.
night, go ride or something.
Hell
We could
yeah.
do a meetup there for people that are race fans and channel fans to come to Wheatland and watch flat track racing and hang out with us.
The other thing that Wagonators, they built a new track at the Lake of the Ozark. Was it Ozark
International
National
Raceway?
Raceway, yeah. It's a road course and it's hilly as hell. And I know that Harley, a year or two ago in the spring rally, set up some rides around it. Hopefully, that might happen for Bike Fest. But I'd sign up for that in a second.
I've got a friend who said he can get me on the track to do a parade lap of just about any time they're not got something going on. So, I'll talk to Carl. Maybe we'll see. And not maybe during Bike Fest because they're going to have races. So that's the other thing. They are going to have sport bike races at that Ozark International Raceway during Bike Fest as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Bike Fest is growing, baby.
Oh shit, people, you are missing.
And Cycle Showcase is back at Encore. Did you see that announcement?
I'm sorry, what?
Cycle Showcase is going to be back at the Encore during Bike Fest this year.
Yeah. I knew that.
So Bad Boy said Texas. So Born Free Texas has a dirt track and a straight drag track at Born Free Texas. So maybe we'll see some ad hoc racing or, not like professional racing, but maybe some racing. Who knows?
Zan Biker.
Zan's out crushing miles. Just got back from riding. So, do I know what night? Saturday night will be the flat track championships in Eldon. It will be on Saturday night. I looked it up. I'm 99% sure that is correct. Hey, I wanted to tell JS that those are some sharp looking wheels he put on his motorcycle. Do you know where he got them from, Steve?
Well, I'm gathering that it may have came from a gentleman in Rolla, Missouri.
Yeah, just shout out where I live, bro.
Hey,
we're all family here.
Yeah. I've said Kansas City about a gazillion times, but now
yeah, that's a little bigger. Yeah, it's a couple
more people here.
Yeah, you can hide a little
down in the Lake of the Ozarks or down in the Ozarks.
I know. It's all right. I got nothing to hide. I don't have any kids living at home that I got to worry about anymore. So,
plus, you've got some friends with you at all times, right? Smith and Wesson.
Smith, Wesson, and Ruger. Smith and Wesson. There might be Smith and Wessons all over the place.
I had a homeowner insured that we were talking about security systems and whatnot, and this guy's a character, and he said, Steve, I can't walk 3 steps in my house in any direction at any point without having a pew nearby. I was like, that's badass. Good for you.
So Jay said he got him from a guy in Buckhorn, Missouri. That's where he picked him up at anyway. So yeah, Jay's got a video on new wheels, rotors, and tires.
He's doing a live too.
He's been doing some lives. He's been
doing some lives with
him and Chase.
Yeah.
He had Gears and Gadgets on, Windroad. Some dickhead from the Ozarks was on early. So let's talk Sturgis for a minute before everybody gets bored and runs off. You're getting there before I am. So tell me your Sturgis plan this year and what you got going on.
Well, I did something last year that I've never done before. I drove a car. I took my son up there and had a unique experience doing all that. So that was cool. And then this year, I'm going to trailer my Softail up since, it just kicked my ass if I tried to ride it. and there's no place to put luggage. So I'm going to trailer up there, and I'm staying in Deadwood, and I'm going to pack up on Wednesday the 30th, and then probably take off around midnight and try to get into Sturgis area, around lunchtime. And then that way I can maybe get some riding in on that Thursday the 31st. And then I'll be hanging out, doing different things until Tuesday. And then I'm going to start heading south.
Did you see this? That you ought to come on the live, Steve. You should be a guest on the Jason.
I'd be honored.
The Chase and Jay Thunder Show. I don't know if that's what they're calling it, but I think the Thunder Show is what they should call it.
I'm happy to bring the Thunder. Usually that's in the bathroom, but I'll bring the Thunder.
So, all right. So, what do you got on Sunday? Because you kind of got a little something planned on Sunday, right?
Yeah, so Sunday I'm going to do. Well, I did a video last year, like 4 or 5 videos on Sturgis, where I just try to condense everything into about a minute video, just for a quick reference guide for anyone that didn't want to go through like a 30-minute video to learn kind of where to go and what to do. So anyway, in one of those, I mentioned several bars that are outside the Sturgis city limits that I've been to, and some of them I haven't. And I thought, man, that would be kind of cool. So we're going to do I'm calling it a pub crawl. But I'm going to meet, I'm going to start at Legends parking lot just outside Sturgis.
We're talking Legends Suspension, not
Legends
their booth their booth at the rally or anything.
Yeah,
like
Legends Suspension's actual manufacturing center. And then we're going to run to some smaller bars that maybe people haven't heard about in the outlying areas, and stop in for a beer or whatever, maybe 2, and then keep on moving. So I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. The hometown out in Western Kansas that I'm from is kind of what originated the plan. They asked if I would do something like that. And I said, hell yeah, let's do it. So I don't know how many people are going to be, I haven't really broadcasted it a lot, but certainly anybody and everybody's welcome to come. But that'd be at noon on Sunday.
You definitely need to put some posts out for that. We're going to try and attend that with you. So Wagonators are hoping to see you at Sturgis, so that if they're going to be there by Sunday, that'd be a great opportunity for them to come hang out.
Yeah.
And if you're not a drinker, doesn't mean you can't go to a bar and have a good time. Steve is sober. He doesn't drink, but he goes to bars.
A little over 4 years ago. So, but I still love going, and I drank for 40 years, so it's just kind of inherent in my blood.
But you can have a good time. You can have a good time at a bar and be sober.
Absolutely.
Some people can't, and that's fine if you can't.
Yeah.
But some people can.
Yep.
I can have a good time just about anywhere I go.
So yeah, we've got a couple of cool places picked out. There's going to be a bar in Spearfish, another one outside of Belfouche.
Which bell are you doing at Belfouche? Are you doing Stonehouse?
I'm going to do Stonehouse. There's another bar on their main drag, and depending on the time, I may try to run there. I saw a video last year where, and I can't remember the name of the bar, but apparently it's kind of a big hangout for the hamster group guys. And thought that might be kind of cool if I ran into some hamsters that maybe we know, some famous builders. That'd be kind of neat.
So Wagonator said, oops, I clicked the wrong one. We're getting there Friday afternoon. So are we, Wagonators. We'll get into my plan in just a minute, but we're getting there Friday afternoon. Steve, are you going to go to, since you're going to be there, are you going to do the Badger thing on Friday night at Buffalo Chip? Are you thinking about it?
Yeah. I did it last year, and I reached out to them, in fact, today. So I think it's 4 to 6 or 4 to 5. The big engine bar, just on the back side, there's a circular tent. I don't know what it was, but anyway, yeah, I mean, Professional Monkey was there, and a host of others, El Buffalo. Yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah, Ryan says I like me some soda water as well, Steve.
There you go, Ryan.
I have not reached out to the Badgers because I don't want anybody expecting me or saying I'm going to be at something that if I'm not 100% sure. But we are leaving Thursday afternoon. I think we're going to meet tomorrow night, the four of us that are riding together, and we're going to decide exactly what time Kickstands is up. And we're going to either stay in Omaha or Sioux City, depending on how far we think we can get Thursday with the late start, because we're not leaving till probably at least 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So Omaha is doable. Sioux City might be a stretch. We'll look at it. We'll talk about it and see how hard everybody wants to go. If they want to go light the first day, since we got a late start, that's fine. I would like to be at the big engine bar by 4 or 5 o'clock, but I can't promise it. So I didn't reach out to nobody. But if we're in town on time, we may just, ride right up there and make a guest appearance. Not that there were anybody special, but we may just show up and hang out with everybody.
Absolutely.
So Brian said that he stepped away from it, but he heard us talking about racing. I think it'd be interesting to do the baggers and MotoGP race at the same time in the same track, like 24 hours of Le Mans. So if not everybody knows, the King of the Baggers is going MotoGP. They are going to be running King of the Baggers at some of the MotoGP tracks and races next year, and I think they're going to do 3 or 4 in the U.S., and one of them is Austin Circuit of Americas, as I recall. So that's like, it may not be 24 hours of Le Mans, but it's going to be some serious racing going on in MotoGP, and it's going to be a pretty wild deal. They're trying to take King of the Baggers International. They've been doing some stuff. James Rispoli, I follow him, and he's been to Thailand a few times and things like that. Brian says different classes running at the same time. Well, I don't know that we're going to get that far, but they're going to do some MotoGP racing with King of the Baggers all at the same time. As far as Sturgis, so I guess I'll give you guys the layout of my plans. We're leaving Thursday afternoon. Like I said, going to probably stay Omaha or Sioux City, one of those two. Get up at dawn, 5:36. Hit the road again, and try and roll into Sturgis before 5 o'clock. Try and get there early afternoon. Our buddy who's hauling the toy hauler is going to try and be there before us, and Jay's got to leave, so he's got to hit the Dollar General before I pick up the kids. Good night, Jay. But yeah, we're going to roll into Sturgis on Friday afternoon. I mean, it's 500 miles, so I'm pretty sure if we leave at 6 a.m., we'll be there by 2 or 3. It shouldn't be too bad. Rolling across Illinois with Missouri plates, you can't speed. If you don't know, if you come out of St. Louis with Missouri plates, you got to be careful about speeding in that first 50 miles coming out of St. Louis, because they like to write tickets to people from Missouri and Illinois. It's a tax revenue thing,
Yeah.
So I learned that from working up there. So I don't hammer through Illinois near St. Louis with Missouri plates. Once you get a little further out, it's not so bad, but Illinois is still not a state I want to get pulled over in for various reasons. So we pretty well stay within 5 mile an hour of the speed limit through Illinois. But South Dakota's, baby, it'll be 80 mile an hour speed limit. It'll be, the Softail will be rolling 85, 90. That'll probably be all she'll want to do on it.
Yeah, drop the hammer, man.
So we'll make good time on that 500 miles, 600 miles. We'll make good time on it. So even if we stay in Omaha and we have 600 miles to do, I think we can still do it by 4 o'clock. So
yeah, you get past Chamberlain in South Dakota, and it's God's country from there on out, man. It's drop the hammer.
Only thing we got to worry about is gas stops.
That's right. That's true.
So we'll hammer out and get there Friday. Like I said, if we get time, we'll go do the big engine bar, meet and greet with the Badgers and all that. And then Saturday, I'll just like pull up my calendar here. We've not everything is set in stone because, like I said, our first priority is our friend's wedding and stuff. But
Right. You
I
know,
kind of
The Badgers are doing another meet and greet at the that little campground, Club Zero, Camp Zero, or whatever. I think that's on Saturday, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What I have for sure on Saturday, and this is probably if you're there on Saturday and you want to find me, this is probably the best place to be sure to find me. Is I am going to try and be at Cycle Showcases premiere at 5 o'clock at Steel Pony where they unveil the bikes because
Yeah,
I you know
yeah, I want to be there too.
Randall does an awesome job. He puts a lot of work in this. He's from the Missouri, so I'm going to go support him and
Yeah,
share out on content, what he's doing there, what he's putting together. It's well deserved that he's doing a show there and stuff. And so we'll be at Cycle Showcase on Saturday at 5 o'clock, almost definitely.
yeah,
So if you're in Sturgis at 5 o'clock on the first Saturday, the second, you should be able to find us at Steel Pony. Um, then let's see, Sunday we're gonna try and do your run, and then maybe we end up at the Buffalo Chip for the motorcycle is arts thing. You still gonna try and make that after your run?
yeah. Yes, I'm going to make every effort. I did it last year. It was really cool. Um, Woody gives out an award too. Shit, and I didn't think about it. Forget what it calls it. Something like the Resilience Award, and he gives that to someone in the motorcycle industry that doesn't get a lot of fanfare, but he's dedicated his life to the motorcycle world, and that was pretty cool. I think the guy that won it last year had something to do with S&S.
So I got a couple questions here, and I'm gonna get through these after I finish kind of my schedule because I don't want to get sidetracked. But Monday, I think we're gonna try and hang out around the Sturgis area. The Gypsy Pines have the hill climbs there. We watched that 2 years ago when we were there, and April loved watching the little kids trying to do the hill climbs and everybody helping them and stuff, and it was really cool. So there's also the old school chopper show at Full Throttle. V Twin Visionary has a performance club style show. There's a pool party at Steel Pony Campground. So I'm thinking like do the hill climbs in the morning for an hour, watch some of that, then go to Full Throttle, then go to V Twin, and then go to the pool party to watch people do belly flops. And then Firecracker has got a Monday. She's going to the Tesla concert at Full Throttle Saloon. I am not going. Me and the boys, I think, are going to go to the Dungeon Bar Monday night to do the uh, bachelor kind of party deal.
See some dancing.
You're still going to be there Monday night, right, Steve?
I will be there Monday
We
night.
might need we I think we can take a shuttle for all this, but we might need a chaperone.
I'd be happy to.
And then also Jack Pine has short track races on Monday and Tuesday, flat track races. So that's cool. That we're gonna try and maybe see as much of that as we can on Monday. Tuesday, uh, they want to do topless Tuesday, so I guess we're headed to Stoneville, baby.
Go early.
Yeah, we're talking to like get there early, then
Yeah,
run down Devil's Tired, maybe back into Belfouche. I thought about taking them to that. If they don't go with us on Sunday when we stop at Stonehouse, I might take them to Stonehouse, drop down into Deadwood, get our check in at the Harley dealer there.
yeah,
Um, Try and win that Lowrider S Sturgis edition.
yeah. Did you want to share it? So,
It's on my
Mark.
Facebook page, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's being done by dealerships.
Okay.
But you got to check in at Badlands, Deadwood, Sturgis, Rapid City, and um,
Hill City.
Hill City. Five dealerships. You got to check in there for a chance to win. And
You have to go to
I'm
all of
sure
them or
any of
just
those
one?
dealerships can tell you all about it and stuff. But I shared the information on my Facebook page.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be badass. God, I'd love to win that bike.
So I think Tuesday we're going to do this like double tires topless Tuesday thing. Wednesday we have to pick up some friends that are flying in for the wedding at the airport, and then we're going to jog south out of Rapid City, and we're going to do the wildlife loop and come back through Pactola Reservoir. on Wednesday and end up back in Sturgis, and hopefully in time to get some ice cream with Randall for the Cycle Showcase ice cream party. And then Thursday, my buddy gets married, so that's all about him. And then Friday, we didn't put a lot on there, but I want to mention this. Detroit Randy's got the Dam Show at Full Throttle Saloon on Friday. So if we're around Sturgis, we're going to try and check that out. And also Friday is when they're doing the Sturgis TT, which is I think where they like do the race in town.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they were doing that again this year.
Looked to me like it was on the schedule on the flat track racing stuff.
That'd be freaking cool, man.
Yeah, so that's kind of my thing. And if the weather is good and we're up to it, we're talking about doing the 1K in a day trip home. Now, we're not documenting this. We're not getting any patches. I think April just wants to tell Chase he's not special. She can do 1K on a Softail. So I really think that's what it is, Chase. I think she's coming for you. But yeah, she wants to just, I think, test herself and see if she can do 1K in a day on that Sport Glide. And so that's kind of our Sturgis plans. Like I said, if you do Instagram, Facebook, follow me, shoot me a message on there. If we're going to be somewhere where we can meet and hang out, I will let you know. Now, to answer Jeff's question, when you were at Homecoming, how did HD crack the whip on content creators to be at locations where needed? I would not say they cracked the whip. I wouldn't say they used a whip. I think they said these events are going on at these times. If you would, you're invited. We would like you to be there. Obviously, they understand you ride motorcycles. We had people that ran into weather. There was a content creator that had a motorcycle accident. I didn't know who he is. I've never seen his face. He wears a helmet, but apparently I saw a post afterwards where he had wrecked a motorcycle, but he made it to Homecoming anyway, but he had fingers bandaged up. I saw him with his fingers bandaged up, but I didn't know who he was. And I was like, I saw his post. I was like, man, I didn't realize that was you. And because I don't know what he looks like. And he's like, I didn't realize. He said I didn't catch you either. We could have talked all things Street Glide. So, but yeah, they were. I mean, those kinds of things happen. So I wouldn't say HD tried to crack the whip. They're not paying us to be there. They didn't pay for our motels. And this is what happens as a content creator. People try and remove roadblocks so you can come to these events, but they don't generally pay you to be there. I go to the Cat House. Jeff helps us with lodging, things like that, but he doesn't pay me to be there. I don't get a check. That's not how I do this anyway.
Right.
And so if I'm not taking money from you, then, you're not telling me what to do. Jeff has never, ever at the Cat House asked me or told me what to do. He's asked me, hey, if you can get by and, give these guys some love, give them a shout out or whatever, that'd be great. They're supporting the event and stuff. And I'm happy to support the people that are supporting the event kind of thing, but there's no cracking the whip. And Zan, all I can tell you is no, I am not going to try living in Illinois. Not going to happen. Not for me. Brian said South Dakota has variable speed limits and they reduce them during Sturgis.
That is a fact.
Yeah, you got to keep track of it. But the interstate's usually 80, 85.
Typically from Rapid City to Sturgis, or maybe even a little bit north of Sturgis, they lower it 10, I believe it was 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, but you're basically there then.
Yeah.
Dan can't go fast because of the highway potholes in Illinois. Yeah, there were some places that weren't great, but there were some places that weren't so bad. So Brian has an interesting question, and I'm going to talk about this in a video. But based on what I know, I'm going to try and get this video out before Sturgis. But my gut says they're not going to do anything at Sturgis. They said fall, and I don't consider Sturgis fall. And I don't think they've had time, no matter what the CEO's goals are, to be ready for Sturgis. I could be wrong. They could release something there, but they didn't release it at Homecoming. And I really think, we'll talk about this for a second, not that I want to get into negative stuff, but Harley got some bad press last year at Sturgis, saying the place was empty, they were gone woke, all that kind of stuff. I don't think that they want to risk doing stuff at Sturgis where it might not be as easy to control the perception or the crowd or anything else that may not be their crowd. I think if they were going to do something, they would do it at Homecoming, where people are coming to Milwaukee because they love the brand, because they're fans of the brand. So I think if they were going to do a launch in July or August, it would have been in July at Homecoming. I don't see them doing it a month later at Sturgis, at least not right now. They've done that in the past, and that could come back, and that'll be in the video talking about that aspect of it. But my gut is I don't think we'll see anything at Sturgis this year at least. Chase says, I'm doing one Saturday.
Iron butt.
I think, if April does this 1K in a day and she like digs it, then maybe her and Chase should do like a 1K together, and he can do it on his bagger and she can do it on a Softail, and they can do a video about it.
Yeah.
He's into the 1K long runs. He could be like, hey, I do 1Ks all the time on, the BMW bagger, but look at this. Here's somebody doing 1K on a Softail. She might be up for it. We'll see how she feels after Sturgis.
I did an iron butt in 2019 on my way back from Sturgis, and it wasn't that terrible, but once is enough for me.
Chase likes to be punished. Apparently, he likes the pain.
Wonder if he's got a dungeon room back at his crib.
After seeing him at Buckhorn, I wouldn't be surprised.
Salty's here.
So, be looking for Busted Knuckles in his new ride after his, I don't know if that's 24 bit the dust. Harley Davidson could not figure out why the 24 kept going in limp mode. So I guess I got to catch up on what's going on with Busted. I got a message from him asking when we were get there, but I didn't know anything about this new ride thing. So I didn't know his 24 kept going in limp mode and they had to do something. So I'm going to have to get caught up. I don't know how I missed this because I do follow him, but I hadn't seen it. So I'll be looking into that.
Yeah.
If you show up and volunteer to their schedule, you're more likely to get invited back. Exclusive first looks. Yeah, for Harley's thing, I'm sure it's, if you show up, you make content, you highlight the things they are hoping you'll highlight in a positive way, I'm sure you're more likely to get invited back or to get exclusive looks. But I mean, I want to give them some credit too. It's not all about, you have to play to pay or whatever. You don't have to do what they say to get invited back. I mean, I talked to somebody and I said something about, being there and as a content creator, and they said, hey, we love you. You keep us honest. I hold if I think they're doing something wrong, I hold them to the fire on it, and they respect that enough to not blackball me because they don't like something I said, or maybe because their perception of it is different than mine. They respect it. There's perceptions out here. Maybe we need to address this better, or, if he sees it that way, probably other people see it that way. What do we need to do to communicate better about, or what can we do to communicate better about why are we doing this or what happened?
Yeah. Negative feedback can be a positive if it's done correctly,
Right. And and they said I try and be fair. A lot of times I say I don't understand why they do this, but I don't have all the data they have. Why they cut this model? Well, I don't know. I don't have all the data they have, but obviously, I'm gonna guess it wasn't the best performing sales wise or profit wise. So will Cole be playing this year? Asking for a friend. That meme has got to be the freaking all at once most blown up thing I have seen ever, at least in the biker community.
I thought it was fake, man. It was too obvious.
I don't know. I follow a lot of Harley dealers because a lot of Harley dealers follow me, and then I'll follow them back. So I see a lot of memes or posts from different Harley dealers all over the country. All over. And I am seeing Harley dealers all over the place being like, hey, buy the bike, and they're got his face and her face, and and this and that. Used motorcycle collection for sale cheap.
Yeah, right. I need to hit her up. She wasn't too bad looking.
Salty says, good evening, all. What's up, Salty? There were iron butt riders on Ninja 400s. sweet. I don't know
Whatever.
that. I've never rode a Ninja 400 to know if I could do one on that, but I'm not a sport bike guy. So,
I'll pick my road glide over that crotch rocket any day.
so Salty says they're going to do an iron butt on choppers to the Smokeout rally in September. That'll be cool.
Be bitching.
Hardtails. I mean, if they're real choppers, they're hardtails. Oh, so he got a red 25 instead of his 24 because his 24 was having problems. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so far, I haven't even got my 5,000 mile service video done because we've been on the road so much and doing stuff. I mean, we did 1,200 miles to Milwaukee and back almost, but 7,500 miles. And the only issues I've had have been like CarPlay cutting out once in a while, original audio stuff because it wasn't updated. But mechanically, I haven't had any issues with the bike. I did my 5K service. I found a couple things. They'll be in the video, but they weren't like Harley things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found a nick cable that had to do with my aftermarket bars. My drive belt was too tight, some things like that.
Yeah.
And we talk about the importance of that in that video. I have a video coming out tomorrow about something I waited way too long to do on this new bike, and I told people not to make the same mistake. Well, I have to get over to Busted's channel and watch the video. Somehow YouTube didn't notify me, or I was rolling down the highway when it notified me and I lost it, because that's sometimes what happens when you're traveling for 4 days.
Yeah.
As for Harley, I'm just hoping the trikes get a refresh in fall. We will be talking about that real soon too. It's time to start talking Harley Davidson and what's coming as we hit August, because it may be coming sooner this year. I have my own suspicions when we're going to see the 2026 stuff. Sorry about the lighting. My second monitor keeps going out and my light goes down and back up. He is doing everything he can to put 1K on it before he leaves Sturgis. Well, just ride to Milwaukee and back. That'll put a K on it.
Get your ass on the seat and roll, brother.
I got a new seat. Did you see my new seat, Steve?
I did too.
Yeah, you got one from Thrashing.
I did. I don't think I've seen your seat.
I've only got about 30 miles on it. It's in the video that comes out tomorrow, so you'll see it.
I was going to say, I didn't think you.
It came in the day we left for Milwaukee. So I've only had it about a week, and I've done about 40 miles, 50 miles on it all, and they were all like 12-mile trips to work kind of thing. So I've not got to put any serious miles on it, but I'm going to try and put a couple hundred on it Thursday, and we'll see if this is the kind of seat that I can ride 500 miles a day on. I don't know. I'd like to take it to Sturgis, but I have to ride 2 up part of Sturgis because we have people flying in who are in the wedding party and they don't have a vehicle, and so they're going to be riding bitch. You're not going to be there Thursday. I have to ride Linda because you're not going to be there.
Damn it.
So Linda's got to ride. You met Linda.
Okay. Yep.
At Cycle Showcase. So she's going to fly in for the wedding. So she's going to ride on the back with me. And then we have another friend who's flying in who's going to ride with someone else. That means I'm going to be running 2 up for a few days. So I'm probably going to, for her sake, put the sundowner on because she definitely isn't going to like the back of this new seat. There's not a lot there for a passenger. It's not a 2 up seat, really. I mean, it is if you had to, but it would be just to get them back to the hotel. It wouldn't be to take them riding.
Now, in your tour pack, do you have the rack on the top of it?
No.
I was going to say, because if you do, sometimes you can strap a second seat onto the rack.
Well, we have a friend taking the toy hauler, so I could take a second seat. I could run around Sturgis on the narrow seat. I thought about doing that, so I may put the tour seat on for the trip up and the trip back, and then roll around Sturgis, until they get there with the new seat.
Yep.
I'd like to try it out some more and really get a feel for it. So if there's plenty of room, then I may take the seat.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it works out.
So mentioning trikes, a friend of mine traded a Road Glide 3 for a 25 Tri-Glide, discovered the Tri-Glide did not have TPMS, which I don't know enough to know.
I don't know much about trikes.
Hang on a second here. I have a special guest.
Ooh.
I need the Ozarks and inner and down on the next line.
I can see the hand. See the hand.
Okay.
And
You just need me to split them up into 2 sheets?
If you can just put Ozarks on the next
line,
level,
okay,
then it will let me print it. It should.
Okay.
Hey, anybody out there going to Sturgis? What's up, Firecracker?
She's making decals for the bike before Sturgis, and she had to tell me what I had to adjust. That's what that was all about.
Aha. I
can change that real easy, babe.
I don't know if anybody in the chat's told us whether or not they are for sure going to Sturgis. As Wagonators.
I can't hear you over him when I got the headphones on. Just move to Ozarks?
No, you'll need to move in on the lower line too.
So riding in the Ozarks, 3 lines.
Yeah, and then we can piece them together.
We're putting riding in the Ozarks on my bike somewhere as a decal. So I laid it out, but she needs me to change the layout a little bit so she can cut it on the Cricket and we can put it on the Tour Pack. So it'll be right on the back of the Tour Pack. So if you're riding behind me, it'll say riding in the Ozarks.
Cool.
And we may do something on the saddlebags later. We may not. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. So, let's get caught up with the chat here. Tiger says, "Hey guys, hey Zan, hey Salty, hello, 87 Ricers in the house. What's up, Chris? Brian said hi, Firecracker. She's already ran off on us. She's busy working on decals for the bike and stuff tonight instead of hanging out with us. What's happening? Not this year. Maybe next year we'll have the road work done south of DEA. I'm not doing very good with these abbreviations tonight, but I know he's in Texas, so I don't know what DEA is.
The only ones I know are like sexual.
That does not surprise me at all. Mikey is going for the first time. Well, congratulations, yes. I guess.
Gonna have a ball.
Brian, not this year, maybe next year. Hopefully the road work south of Deadwood. So it's cutting him off. Yeah, I don't know. Is there road work south of Deadwood somewhere that's a problem? I hadn't heard anything.
385 again this year, like last year, has some road work north of Hill City, I believe south of, however you pronounce that lake, Pactola
Reservoir.
Yeah, and
well, that sucks because we're going to be coming through it.
Yeah, I'm being told that it's be smart and you can get through it pretty easy.
Drug enforcement agents, DEA, of course. I think DEA was for Deadwood. He just got cut off, but good going, Chase. You got it. It said too soon, trying to type too fast. So yeah, we are planning on doing the wildlife loop and coming back up to Pactola Reservoir. So that'll take us right through Hill City and back up to the reservoir. Because April really likes the ride from the reservoir back to Sturgis. She likes that section through Nemo and all that there. That's where I got to ride the 23.5 CVOs with Harley Davidson, and that was one of her favorite rides. So we're going to try and do that ride coming from Hill City back. That'll be our Wednesday. Love and bikes. There's my man Randy. Say hi to Randy, everybody.
Randall, what's up?
We'll see Randy Thursday. I will. No Sturgis from this plea. I'm planning going up to BBB in October. Well, Ryan, make sure you hit us up on Friday if you're there on Friday, because we will be there on Friday. And then, like I said, Saturday we'll be just a couple hours north at Renegade. I've ridden the area, but first time for the rally. Well, have a good time. You'll enjoy it. My biggest thing is don't be in a hurry. There's a lot of traffic. Yep. If you really care about like the rides, you probably should go when it's not rally time. It's cool to do it during the rally time. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to go during the rally time, though, but it's not for everybody.
The other thing I'd share, Mike, is if you're going to do Iron Mountain, Needles, and Spearfish, try to do them as early in the morning as you can.
I actually would say if you're going to be there like on the last Friday, do them that day because it's better than early in the week because people have started leaving and heading home.
Yeah,
So,
when about Wednesday you start to see it filter out a little bit.
yeah. So Hog Rider, I am going to try and be there if we're in town in time. I haven't told or announced anything because I don't know 100% if we're going to make it. That's the day we arrive. We could run into bike problems. We could decide that we need to take a break. Somebody's hot, tired, wore out, overheated, dehydrated, whatever. But if we make it in time, we're going to try and swing by the chip and see the Badgers and everybody.
And I most likely will be there.
Yeah, because he's already going to be there. He's not going to get dehydrated rolling up. Not this year.
No.
So, what is your favorite bike? My favorite bike out of the lineup is like as far as like, so that's a tough question because different bikes have different purposes. The bike I'm most likely to buy, which is the bike I did buy, is a Street Glide because I need a touring bike I can throw miles on because I like to go crush miles and travel the country as much as I can, which isn't as much as I would like to because of my job. Unfortunately, the fucking thing's in the way, but I got to pay bills. So it's a necessary evil to keep the bike. I got to have a job. So, but
do with a Rogue Glide RR if I had, if I could pick anything.
Yeah, if money was no object, obviously, yeah. But I guess, what's your favorite bike? If you were talking like of all time, there's a lot of bikes I'd love to have if I could go back and buy that and then wait to buy a Street Glide, then I would absolutely do that. Here's an example, and this is one of the things that I get why Harley does it, but I wonder sometimes if it doesn't bite him in the ass. So if we look at my scenario, 2016s came out in 2015. I bought a Street Glide because I wanted a new touring bike. I didn't know they were going to cancel the Dynas next year. I was planning on buying a Dyna 3 years from now. Buy a Street Glide, 3 years from now, buy a Dyna. Well, they canceled the Dynas, and I was in a payment, and I wasn't in a situation financially where I could go buy a Dyna, but I didn't want to give up the Street Glide. So I could go back and buy a used late model Dyna, but those are actually pretty hard to find in dealerships. You don't see a lot of, 2017 Dyna Lowrider S's,
No.
Not in the actual Dynas. You see them in the Softails. I'm a Dyna guy in a lot of ways. I have a 2000 FXDX. I have my first Harley, which is a Dyna Lowrider that was wrecked, and I got to rebuild it, but I won't give it up. So, if I had to go back and pick a bike, I'd think about picking something like a Dyna. When I was a kid, I loved the Wide Glide. I thought that was the coolest bike.
Right.
That's a tough question depending on why you're buying it. Just because you like it or because of your needs.
2013 CVO Rogue Glide skunk bike is always going to be one of the tops on my list.
So somebody's going to have to tell me what the Red Lodge is because I don't know what the Red Lodge is. Do you know what the Red Lodge is, Steve?
I'm guessing that's in Red Lodge, Montana, which I rode through a couple of years ago on my way to Sturgis. Red Lodge is a cool ass old country, country town.
How far is it? Little further than Topless Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, if you got up early in the morning, you could make it out there, but you'd want to spend the night. I mean, Red Lodge is at the base of what's the road, that famous road in Montana?
Beartooth
Pass. When you come out of Beartooth Pass, you run into Red Lodge. So that's 4 or 5 hours away at least.
So, Hog Rider, we're going to, like I said, we'll probably be at the Cycle Showcase premiere no matter what. So if you miss us at there, you can try and catch us at the Cycle Showcase unveiling at Steel Pony. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook if you want to see where we're at and where you might be able to catch us. So we'll try and do that. Maybe another year, I don't know. I didn't have anybody who like reached out and say, hey, do you guys want to do a meet and greet, be at our booth from any of the vendors or anything else this year? So I don't want to ask somebody to set up something for me particularly. Um, if they want me there, then I'm happy to work with them, but I don't want to be like asking for a favor. So we're just kind of doing our own thing. Maybe a couple years from now, we'll try and do a little more planned social media thing or plan to be at the Badgers thing, leave a little earlier, make sure we have time to be there. I hope to see everybody there. I hope everybody that knows me or watches the channel comes up and says hello.
Absolutely. Oh, Sunday before my pub crawl at noon, I go to Nemo every year to the firemen's pancake feed.
Yeah,
right off the highway there in their little civic center.
That's the road. That's the way we go to Pactola.
So Nemo. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I 99% chance I'm going to be there for breakfast, and then I'll leave from there to head over to Legend Suspension.
Well, holler at us. Maybe me and April go have breakfast with you.
Yeah, I've done it every year. I've been, I think this is my 7th year, and I've done it every year.
So Green says his favorite Harley is the Pan America. By the way, JS is back.
Nice.
Green Rush says I can buy whatever I want. Also, that's a nice option. I wish I had that option.
Me too.
Congratulations. No hate. If I could buy whatever I want, I would, have a whole shop full of Harleys. Even though I have pretty close to that already, but they're only. Most of them are. Everybody's like, you got all those bikes. Well, I got a 98 Sportster, a 2000 FXDX. We're talking, I got 2 bikes that are less than $6,000 between the 2 of them.
Yeah, not all of us are professional monkey.
Right. Well, and my 94 lowrider, I bought that 20 years ago. That kind of thing. So these aren't they're not all the newest bikes. The most expensive bikes we have is, of course, my new 2024 and April Sport Glide, and then I have my 16 that's paid off.
Yeah. Are you still trying to sell that?
I'm not trying so hard. I mean, nobody seems to want to give me money for a bike with 75,000 miles, like they're scared of it. So I may just keep it. April may ride it, or if I decide I'm ready to trade the 24 off, and I ever have a problem and I need to travel, I've got a touring bike I can travel on. I mean, I'll be honest. They only wanted to give me $6,000 for trade-in. I'm not giving up that bike. I've got $6,000 in accessories on it. Yeah, I mean, I'll just drop a motor in it and keep on riding it at that point. If the 2024 is not a forever bike. That's a bike that I'm going to ride. I'm going to make content on, and then I'm going to trade it in on the next bike. Try and keep a newer tour bike for going to content and doing content and making content. When I can't do a tour bike, then I guess I'll go back to a Softail.
There you go.
Red Lodge, Beartooth Pass, Chief Joseph. So we have not got to ride that far yet, out that way. We're talking about, we talked about next year, but now somebody's trying to talk us into going to California next year, and we only get one big trip a year. So it's on the bucket list. All I can tell you, I just need more vacation time.
Yep. I was blessed to do that run 2 years ago. We actually tied in Trail Ridge Drive in Estes Park. By the time I got to Sturgis, man, it was almost kind of a letdown because I'd done all these kick-ass roads leading up to hitting Sturgis. I definitely recommend it to anyone, though. That Beartooth Pass, Chief Joseph Highway, amazing. So
Green says that they have an RR Road Glide at his dealer. They want $149K for it. He would give them $100K cash. I know a dealer that was getting one. I don't know what they're going to ask for it, but they're pretty reasonable. They're normally an MSRP dealer, so I might know a dealer that would sell one for $100K cash. Because MSRP, I think, is $110.
Yeah. Well, Matt Laidlaw, they sell everything at invoice, right? So there's dealers out there.
My modesty. I don't hear that word used to describe me a lot, but okay. I'll be coming out to Sturgis with Jonesy. Right on. Yeah, Jonesy's got my cell phone number. So if nothing else, man, just tell Scott to text me or call me, and I'll call him back. Or we'll hook up. Scott Jonesy comes through Missouri, going to Arkansas a lot, close to where I live. We've met multiple times and stuff and hung out. So just have Jonesy give me a call or text me and see where we're going to be or something. I'm sure we can hook up and hang out, get a drink, get a burger, glass iced tea, whatever. Jonesy will have something generally stronger than that, but maybe not if he's riding. But I've had a drink with Jonesy before. Jay, suspension. I wish I had some suspension. Tomorrow's video is going to talk about suspension a little bit. So all I can tell you, Jay, is watch tomorrow's video.
There you go, a little teaser.
If you follow me on Instagram and you watch my stories, I don't post everything as a post, but I do post some stuff in my stories that will give you sneak peeks into future videos or future things that are going on. Today we got a box from Hogworks. A few days ago I got a box from Harley Davidson. That you might see pictures of something mounted already on the bike, and if you watch my Instagram, Facebook stories, that's all I could tell you. That stuff expires, so if I put it on there, those that are watching and paying attention get a sneak peek, but it doesn't ruin the surprise for everybody else. So Brian just put 100,000 miles on his 2019 Road King Special on their trip to Colorado over the weekend. Congratulations. If I had not tried to stop putting miles on the Street Glide because I knew I was going to trade it in, I'd probably be close to that. And I probably should have just done it because it turned out I wasn't trading it in anyway. I learned my lesson there. If you're not trading it in by 50,000 miles, you might as well just not worry about it because they ain't going to give you any more or less for it after 50 grand. You put 50K on it, it moves you into that market where there's too many other bikes with lower miles that people would rather buy.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things we really need to do. We need to do the Dragon. We need to do Colorado, Beartooth Pass, $1 Million Highway. Somebody wants us to go do the Pacific Coast Highway. We haven't done Arizona Bike Week yet. We haven't been to Barber. We haven't been to Wheels in Time. There's a lot of things we haven't done that's on the list. The problem is I only get 3 weeks of vacation. And like with Sturgis, we're using 6 days there. Milwaukee, we use 2 days. There's 8 days. That's half my vacation, just over half my vacation in 2 events. And then we have Bike Fest, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. But those being my back door, I cannot not go cover those and stuff. I feel like, part of why I started this channel was to promote riding in the Ozarks. So I got to go cover big events in the Ozarks and share that with people so they know what there is to look forward to when they come to here. So between those things, that kind of eats it up. I want to do TMMR. I'd love to do Smoke Out sometime. We're just going to have to spend the next 15 years doing everything we can.
Yep. It's the beauty
then I get to retire and do a lot more.
Yeah, right on.
But you never know what tomorrow holds, so I'm not waiting till I retire to do stuff. I'm doing as much as I can now, and whatever I don't get to, then I'll get to later. That's the plan. Just keep living every day to the fullest. Hopefully, I'll get a new Road King next year, Harley. New Road King with the 117 center cooled motor. I want to talk about that for a second because going to Milwaukee was a good experience for the heat. We're riding 90 degrees, coming back. It's in the 90s. I rode a couple weeks ago, I rode my Dyna, my 2016, and my 2024 one day after another, in progression. The oldest bike, then the next oldest, and then the next oldest. And I can promise you the center cooled, liquid cooled heads on the Milwaukee 8 is a much cooler running engine temperature wise than the other. The only point I ever felt like engine heat was hot was like setting at a light and the rear cylinder would shut off to try and help with that, because the bike was running warm. But, like if I just pulled up at a stop sign or something like that, I was never like, oh shit, this thing's hot. No.
Wow.
If I had to sit there for a couple of minutes, then I'd start feeling it. But it is definitely, Harley said it was noticeable, and that's absolutely true. It is noticeable.
That's a big sales point.
Who is he? Green asked. I'm not sure who he is we're referring to, but maybe clarify. It's hard to keep up with the chat. Sorry, folks.
Yep.
Steve, that is what we did over the weekend from Loveland to Colorado Springs through Estes Park and Winter Park.
Yep.
Yeah, MSRP is at 110. So who is he? He's probably talking about the RR thing. I would reach out to Lake of the Ozarks Harley Davidson because I know they're getting one. I would tell you to reach out to Renegade Harley Davidson, but they are not getting one. So Renegade's my go-to dealership, but unfortunately they're not going to get an RR because they changed ownership. And there's some deal with that, that like kicked them out of the running to get an RR. You have to, I think, like have a history record for a year of such and such sales or, things like that because they changed ownership that like killed their opportunity to get an RR. But I do know Lake of the Ozarks Harley Davidson was getting an RR, and that would be who I would talk to. And you can tell them that Riding in the Ozarks knew they were getting one and said to reach out to them. I don't know that it's going to help you any, but you can try. They're on their second Gray Ghost. They sold their first one to a guy. I told all about it at the barbershop, and he went and bought it, and they didn't know that I was the one that told him about it. And then we were chatting about it, and I was like, I told this guy at the barbershop all about it on the day it was released. He went and bought one, and then my barber texted me a couple of weeks later and said, hey, that guy went and bought one of those motorcycles that you were telling me about.
And then Saturday, I send you a picture from there of that Gray Ghost, and then I was really shocked when you told me they'd already sold one. That was their second one because that's a pretty small dealership,
Yep. Jay says an RR. Or Chase says they were talking, I guess, Jay Sorsby or an R18. And Jay says, or an Indian Springfield Dark Horse. The chat's going to shit. Here we are talking about Indians and BMWs. Dealership for the RR. Yes. Lake of the Ozarks Harley Davidson. I will contact them. Well, good luck. Talk to Joe, or Jack is the owner, but Jack's not usually in. Joe's kind of the sales manager, so that's who you'll probably deal with in the end. Yep.
Yeah.
Do it tomorrow morning. Don't leave a time gap. I don't know, and I know they were getting one, but I don't know if they've gotten it yet, and I don't know if they've got a buyer for it yet. But it's worth reaching out to them. If I was, if I couldn't get one from Renegade, that would be the second place I would go looking for one because I know they're going to get it. If I had $100K cash to drop on one, that is.
Yeah.
So we've talked Harley Davidson. We have talked 2026 launch a little bit. We've talked Sturgis. Has anybody got any questions for me that we haven't talked about before we wrap this thing up? Because I got another video I got to finish editing.
Going once. Going twice. Thanks, Green Rush. Hey, good luck on getting that RR, man. They're badass. Jay, someday you can make it happen, brother.
Jay still hasn't ridden an M8. He hasn't even ridden one. Jay. Well, if you come to Bike Fest, I'll put you on a Street Glide M8, and you can take it out for a ride and bring it back and tell me what you think of it. We'll do it on a video. We'll see if we can sell you on one. So, have you got to ride your thrashing seat yet, Steve?
Nope, not yet. I literally got it in the mail yesterday, and went out and installed it real quick and sat on it and kind of, did one of these numbers. And I mean, it feels really good. I'm excited. I think it's going to be exactly what I was hoping it would be. But hopefully I'll get out in the next couple of days and go ride it.
Well, I'm trying to fix this decal thing for her.
And then, of course, I'm anxious to see what you got.
So
if you told me, I don't remember.
I will share that I am now a Mustang seat, a Mustang brand ambassador. So this seat is actually a collaboration between Mustang and Codlin. I posted a picture of it a while back, so I really like the looks of this seat. And I reached out to Codlin, and it's a collaboration deal. They said you have to talk to Mustang about getting a demo seat. Talk to Mustang, and they didn't really have any demo seats. They build to order and stuff like that. But we talked, and we're going to try and do some stuff together. And so now I'm a brand ambassador. I did not get the seat for free. I still paid for the seat. I got a little discount. That's part of it, but. I'm also going to do some work, and I'm going to give you an honest review of the seat after I put some miles on it. But my first 10 miles, I was surprised.
Good.
How well I liked it. So I'm
expecting
good things from it.
I had a Mustang tour seat on my Road King, and then I've had one on my Road Glide ever since. I don't know if anybody makes a better tour seat than Mustang, in my opinion.
Well, I'm not big on the wide seats, except for when I'm touring.
Right.
I've got a Sundowner, and I had a Sundowner on my last bike, and it did me well. Nothing against the road sofa now Mustang just came out with a new touring seat also, and
yes,
maybe we'll test that in the future after I test this seat or something.
Yeah.
And it's if I test other brands, it's not like. I mean, I didn't make any exclusive deals that I won't ride another seat or have another seat or whatever else. But, I mean, I can't tell you if this product's better than that product if I don't try them. And seats are $500 a whack, easy to $1,000. So they're not like I can get 10 of them and just go try them all out and tell you what I think.
No.
It'll be what I can when I can.
Yeah.
So Ryan says, I would get a Cruzy built Nightster if I could. That would be pretty cool. I pulled up at the hotel at Milwaukee, and there's a pickup truck with a couple of Nightsters there. And I'm like, Cruzy staying at the hotel, because I've not got to meet Ryan, and I'm a fan. I'm in his Patreon. I've been a fan. I've been in his Patreon for years. I started following him a lot for the Dyna content because we had the 2000 FX DX. And stuff. And so I paid to be a Patreon just to support his channel because I liked the content so well. And it was valuable to me as a Dyna owner. So it was really cool. I got to meet him and talk to him a couple times. We talked about my Dyna a little bit and stuff. And he said, if I ever want to sell it, to bring it to Phoenix because I can get 3 times what I paid for it there.
Wow.
That's what it was.
He's got a great channel. He's funny and he's entertaining. So.
Yeah, and he's having fun doing this stuff,
Yeah.
It's true. It's real.
Yep.
So, I slapped a LaPera tail whip on my 24, about 1,500 miles on the seat. I love it. That was in the running. A LaPera tail whip was in the running. This Codlin is probably a little smaller seat than the tail whip, and at least in the passenger section. I like the LaPera look a lot of the tail whip. I've heard good things about it. Speed Dealer has them. It'd be something if I was going to compare seats, I would probably put the tail whip up against the Mustang seat, up against the step up, of course, maybe Harley step up. I thought about if I could get 4 step up seats, one from Harley, one from LaPera, one from Mustang, one from Saddleman, to do like a step up comparison seat, just about like showing you rider position, initial thoughts on it. Maybe, at least I'd have to have them for a long time to do an initial review. If I could get one just to put on a bike and show you, like this one brings you up and back, this one brings you down and back, that kind of thing. Because I think that's valuable to people to see them in comparison. A lot of them will tell you, oh, like this Codlin seat brings you back. It's not an extended, it's not a reach seat. It's not, they're not advertising it that, but they do bring you back. And I like to have my arms straight.
Yep.
So I'm feeling pretty happy with the positioning on it. But it brings me
Good.
back a little bit more over stock.
Jay loves his Mustangs.
Jay says if HD does me wrong on the Road King, I'll probably buy a Nightster. You gonna ride that Nightster to Bike Fest? I just want to know, bro. You're young. You can do that. Brother-in-law bought a 22 Road Glide. Looking at Sly Fox. Don't know much about them, but they look hot. There's also, I got a lot of recommendations when I was talking about it from people who talked about Bad Boy Customs.
A guy I ride with loves Bad Boy. He's putting one on his 2024 Road Glide CVO ST.
So there's you mentioned this to me. So talking about Lance from the Thrashing Crew getting a CVO RR. Can't believe Lance got one.
Yeah.
What was funny was the picture they posted was a trailer full of them. Now I wonder if that
Yeah.
trailer full was going to California to different dealers and they got one of those or something, because they
I think
posted a picture with like a whole trailer full of them.
Yeah, I think it was, because in the video, he got 73, and then he went back in the back of the trailer to look at the other bikes, and they were like 74, 75. So that's what he was guessing, is that they're taking them to other dealerships out in California.
Hey, Greg.
Oh, and then he pops a wheelie out in front of Neptune's net, where he likes to go eat on PCH, and he scrapes the exhaust pipe, goes back to the dealership to see what it would cost. I think it was like $3,900 just to replace that part of the exhaust.
Yeah, I expect there'll be a custom exhaust coming.
Yeah,
something.
Me too.
Jay says if he got the nicer, he'd keep the Road King. So that'd be he'll just keep the Road King and get a nicer on
He's
top.
never going to get rid of his Road King.
So Greg said he couldn't make it. He was trying to meet up with me in Milwaukee, but life and work got in the way, and he couldn't make it. I understand completely that stuff happens. So maybe we'll catch you there next year or somewhere else in between. Yeah, so he got 73, and the 6 others, there were 6 more going to other dealers. So yeah, that's kind of what I figured with the picture.
Yeah.
When you get a chance, when you change the windshield in the 24, maybe I've missed it if you did. I'm 6 foot, and the Amazon Clockworks 8-inch knockoff didn't do much for me. Thinking I'm needing a 10. Ryan, I am desperately trying to get this video done. It's pretty. I haven't got it edited up, but it's a lot of content. But I have taken video of about 8 different windshields on the bike with me riding them on the bike from my POV, talking about what my height is, measured them from the top of the bike to how wide they are. I am working on a windshield buyer's guide. It is in the top 5 of my videos I need to get done. So with Sturgis coming, it's killing me, but I'm probably not going to have time to get it done before Sturgis. So probably will come out in August. I am running, I think, the 10-inch in the winter, and I'm running an 8-inch in the summer, and I'm not 6 foot tall. So if you're 6 foot tall, I would say you probably need the 10-inch, because I'm like 5'9". So you're 3 inches taller than me, so you should be probably 1.5 inches taller in the torso. So 2 inches taller in the windshield is probably going to be fine. I think you'll be better with the 10 than an 8. That would be my guess. The 8 has been about right for me in the winter when I want less air on me than I do the 10, but I also do a taller seat in the winter. I run a heated seat that's my sundowner that's thicker, so it raises me up a little bit also. Do you have any iron butt tips for first timers? My iron butt tip for first timers is to watch a channel called Chasing Adventure. He's in the chat. Chase, can you throw a link to your channel in there for John? Chase is the guy I know personally that's done the most iron butts. He likes to do them. He has a lot of experience. He's got videos on like what he packs, stuff like that. I have not done an iron butt myself yet. This, if when Firecracker does hers, that'll be the first one. I've done 700 miles in a day multiple times, and we knocked off before dinner. I'm sure I can do an iron butt. I've just
Oh
never
yeah.
needed to, and I've never done it for the sake of doing it. Um, it doesn't, like we talk about things that feed my soul. Doing an iron butt has never been like on my, oh, I need to do this. I think for Firecracker, she feels like it's more of a challenge because she's doing it on a Softail, so she wants to challenge herself to do it. I don't feel like it's much of a challenge for me to do it on a touring bike. I'm sure I can do it, so I've never like felt the need to do it to prove it. But but if she's going to do it, I'm going to do it with her. So I
Yeah.
can tell you, my tip is start early before while it's cool. When it gets hot, take more breaks, get more hydration. Stop more frequently. So maybe start out in the morning doing 150-mile legs, and stop and get gas and take a drink of water. Drink a half a bottle of water at your gas stops. First thing you do is drink water, fill the tank, drink water, put your helmet on, drink water. Drink water and rehydrate when you fill up. Um, I wear long sleeves. I wear mesh riding gear. Some people think I'm crazy doing that in 90-degree heat, but coming back from Milwaukee in the 90 degrees, I felt like the air coming through the mesh jacket was cool, not hot.
Mhm.
It's a furnace blasting on my face. If I take it off, I feel like the wind blasting on me is hotter than when I'm wearing the mesh jacket. So proper gear, I think, helps. Hydration's big key. I mean, that's going to have a lot to do with how tired, how sleepy, how long you can last. And to be honest, I think if you take your breaks, get hydrated, and then get on the road and don't screw around and just make miles. It's not that hard if you have the right bike for it. I did. I'll admit, I did put a cup holder on my new bike. I've not had one on it yet, but I put a cup holder on just for Sturgis because I run cruise control, so I can twist the top on a bottle of water and take a drink while I'm riding, and I will drink water while I'm rolling between stops. Not
You know,
if I'm gonna do 1K in a day, you can believe me, I'm gonna be drinking while I'm riding, drinking water.
John, I did one. Here would be my recommendations. It's going to take you about 17 hours. I would recommend that you start somewhere in the evening, around midnight ish, 2 o'clock, something like that. I would also recommend that you stay on interstates for speed wise, and also less chances of having a deer or something jump out in front of you. Uh, Figure out like a road, interstate road that may not be as traveled as much as others. Less traffic, I think, is important. Um, I did 5-hour energy drinks. I didn't do like big monster cans. That way I didn't have to pee. Make your food stops real quick. Maybe even at a gas station, just chuck down a couple things. And then about halfway in, I started taking a pain reliever. So those would be my recommendations.
Is the pain reliever just for like sore back, sore butt kind of thing?
Butt and back. Maybe your legs get a little stiff. Those were things that I did.
Chase sent out a link to his channel, John. Check him out. Go watch some of his iron butt videos. Maybe they'll help you know what he packs, things like that.
Yeah, Chase breaks it down really well.
If you can do 400 miles a day, you can do 1,000. It's just committing, and it's just doing more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a second to subscribe to Jay Sorsby's channel.
Yep.
Eat light, energy foods. Don't fill your gut and then be sleepy.
Yeah. Small meals, 5-hour energy drinks versus a big 16-ounce can of something.
Yeah, I will only have like one soda at lunchtime, and the rest is water.
Yep.
Make it easy on your bladder. Also, water you'll sweat out. You won't have to go pee as much, but you'll stay hydrated. If you drink things that don't sweat out like soda, you're gonna have to go pee more. It's more work on your bladder.
Yep.
Full mesh jacket is great. Yep. Zan says pickle juice.
Yeah.
Normal iron butt isn't about time; it's about doing it. Pain
I bought
reliever,
a
aka bourbon and pickle juice.
I bought a couple of running shirts, the long sleeved running shirts that are not made out of the plastic material that has the thumb loops,
Dry fit.
and then that way the
Yeah.
sun doesn't beat your ass so bad.
I've got a Dixon one that's in orange that we bought at Sturgis last year that I like. I have an Odin MFG black and white one that I wear, and then I have when we were in Daytona, we had to have long sleeves, and I ended up not wanting a jacket but wanting one of those. I had taken a hoodie, and the hoodie was too hot in March in Daytona. I'd never been, so I didn't really know what to expect. But when it got real like rainy days, the hoodie was great when it was overcast and things like that. But when the sun came out, the hoodie was a little too warm. So we went and bought me like a white one of those at one of the fishing places, long sleeve, but that dry fit type material that's light wicking stuff. Ryan said, I rode 250 miles to Crater Rally this year on the 24th. So much better than on the Street Bob 114 a year prior. I second the pickle juice. So, Ryan, when you went to Crater Rally, I am trying to think of his name, but I know him and I follow him, and I met him at BBB. But the guy that puts on Crater Rally was the MC at Flatheads, and I can't think of his name, but he is going to be the MC at Kickstands. So he'll be MCing at Kickstands all week where I'm staying and stuff. So I'll get to hang out with him again. But he puts on Crater Rally there in Texas, and he has another rally. Yeah, I eat beef jerky and walnuts, etc. on the road with water. Keeps me going. Yeah, beef jerky's good. I mean, like I said, don't do try to avoid greasy foods, fried foods. Do like a Subway sandwich or wrap kind of thing, light on the bread, heavy on the protein. That's what I do. Jay says, yeah, the dry fit fishing shirts are the jam. Your local big box store should be putting them on sale soon. Yeah, I like the mesh jacket. I can wear short sleeves underneath that. So then when I stop, I get off, I just take the jacket off and throw it in the bag or hang it on the handlebars, or if we're going in to eat, I throw it over the chair because it's pretty warm when you're not rolling, but when you're rolling, the mesh jacket's great. And it's better protection than the dry fit shirts. I like the dry fit shirts, but the mesh jacket's better protection.
This is kind of funny. I take heed for it a little bit, but I like to wear what I call business socks. I wear black, the nylon thin socks. And the reason being is if you get wet, they dry out a lot quicker than a big, thick, heavy cotton sock. So I've been doing that for a couple of years now, and I've been happy to. It's been a plus.
So do you know how to keep your feet dry once you get stormed on and you have wet boots for the next 2 days? Like when you're riding the Sturgis 2 years ago?
Talk to me.
So I keep a roll of small trash sacks in my luggage bag. And so like if we get rained on and the boots are going to be wet and I'm not going to be able to get them dry, when I get up the next morning, I put on dry socks and I put my trash sack over my socks and I stick them in my boot. And my boots may be wet till they dry out, but my feet are dry the whole time.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're a little warmer, but if you're moving on the highway, they're not bad, as far as making your feet warm. But they do. That's a great way to, once you get wet, to have dry feet still.
Little tricks of the trade.
So he said, I met Randall Reeder at Crater Rally. He's the actor that plays Buck on the Deadpool movies. Great guy. Can't remember the MC's name for the life of me. Yeah, I can't either, but I follow him and I know him, and I'll know him on sight when I see him. Yeah, don't eat a double quarter pounder at McDonald's doing long miles.
Or a bowl of Chili's from Wendy's.
Yeah, Chase says it's July. It depends on where you are, but hydration keeps you cooler than any clothing. Drink, drink, drink. So I keep a bottle of water on the handlebar if I'm going to do like this 1K thing. That's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
He likes hot weather, iron butts, because I sweat enough to not piss you every time I stop.
Yep.
Yep. Plastic bags work in the cold too. Yeah, I mean, if anything that's waterproof is
Yep.
windproof, and wind is what strips your heat.
Yep.
You know, cut a hole in a trash bag and put it on over your underwear, and your junk's not going to get cold. Or you can get a heated seat like me, and you're going to have chestnuts roasting over an open fire. Uh, avoid heartburn triggers on long rides. Ask me how I know. Yeah, rain gear does well in cold weather as well. The only jacket
Yeah.
I took a mesh jacket for riding, and the only other jacket I took to Milwaukee was rain gear. So if we got rained on, but also if I got cold, I could just put it on. And I don't really care what other people think about how I look. I'm not trying to be cool.
No.
I'm trying to, you know, be comfortable, to take care of myself, and be able to crush miles and get done what I need to get done. So,
Yeah.
like the morning we went to the PDC, it had rained, so I left there with the rain jacket on. I might have been the only guy wearing high visibility orange Harley Davidson rain jacket, but that's okay. I might not look cool, but I was perfectly dry and perfectly
Yeah.
comfortable. All right. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock, guys. I'm going to let you everybody go. I still got to work on
Yeah.
a video and stuff. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we probably won't do another live till we get back from Sturgis, because next week's all going to be about prep for Sturgis, and then we're gone for a week. And I don't know if we'll do one the Tuesday after we get back or not. We'll just have to see where we're at, how we get in. If things go well and we do a 1K on Saturday, and I have Sunday to recoup and get stuff done, then we might be ready by Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to Jay's channel. Let's get him over that 1K. I'm going to have to start pimping him out.
Yep. Take care of our boy.
All right. Y'all stay safe and keep on riding. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.